The stars glittered coldly as the massive Varan ships moved silently through space. Their metal hulls reflected the distant sun as they approached the blue planet. From the command deck of the lead vessel, Admiral Kret watched the view screen with 6 gleaming eyes. Earth looked small and weak. "Scans confirm primitive technology," reported Officer Mila. "Their strongest weapons cannot harm our ships. They have no space defenses." Admiral Kret's mouthparts clicked with satisfaction. "Begin the standard approach. We will take this world in 3 cycles." The Varan Collective had conquered 17 worlds. Each time, the pattern was the same: show overwhelming force, accept surrender, and harvest the planet's resources. Humans would be no different. Commander Jack Reynolds stood in Earth's United Defense Command Center. The giant screens showed the alien ships entering orbit. 50 vessels, each larger than the biggest Earth battleship. Around him, officers worked at control stations with grim faces. "Sir, they're broadcasting on all frequencies," said Lieutenant Wilson. Reynolds nodded. "Put it through." The main screen flickered to show Admiral Kret. The aliens' insect-like features caused a ripple of shock through the command center. "People of Earth," the aliens' translated voice boomed. "We are the Varan Collective. Your planet is now under our control. Surrender your resources and accept our rule, or face extinction." Reynolds stepped forward. His face showed no fear, only cold determination. "This is Commander Jack Reynolds of Earth. We will not surrender." Admiral Kret's translator conveyed surprise. "You have no choice. Look to your skies. One ship could destroy your largest city." Reynolds smiled slightly. "You made one big mistake." "And what is that?" asked Kret. "You dared to attack our home." Reynolds pressed a button on his console. Around the world, hidden missile silos opened. Orbital platforms that had been disguised as satellites revealed powerful weapons. 200 years of secret preparation was unleashed in moments. On the Varan command ship, alarms blared. Unknown weapons locking on. Energy signatures exceeding expected parameters, shouted Officer Mila. Admiral Kret stood in shock. Impossible. Their technology was hidden, finished his second in command. They let us scan only what they wanted us to see. The first wave of Earth's missiles struck 3 Varan ships. The explosions lit up space as the vessels broke apart. "Return fire," ordered Kret. But Earth's attack was far from over. From hidden bases on the Moon and Mars, fighter ships launched. They were smaller than the Varan vessels, but moved with incredible speed. "Sir, the humans have space combat capability." Officer Mila's voice shook with disbelief. On the view screen, Commander Reynolds spoke again. His words reached not just the command ship, but all Varan vessels. "We've been watching the stars for centuries, preparing for this day. Humanity will not be conquered. You attacked our home, our families, our planet. We will show you why that was your greatest mistake." The Varan ships began to retreat as the human fighters closed in. Their weapons technology was more advanced than anything the Collective had expected from such a primitive world. Admiral Kret stared at the human commander on the screen. "What are you?" Reynolds' eyes were hard as steel. "We are humans. We spend our whole history fighting each other, perfecting the art of war. Did you think we wouldn't be ready for enemies from beyond? You dared to attack our home. The galaxy will remember your mistake." As the Varan fleet scattered, Reynolds' final message echoed across their communications. "This is just the beginning. You came to our home. Now we know where yours is." On that day, the galaxy learned a valuable lesson. Never underestimate humans protecting their home. Admiral Kret paced the damaged command deck of his ship. 3 days had passed since their first attack on Earth. The Varan Collective had never faced such resistance from a supposedly primitive world. "Full report," he demanded. Officer Mila's voice trembled. "We've lost 7 ships. Humans have deployed weapons we've never seen before. Their fighters can match our best ships." Kret slammed his claw against the wall. "How? They should be centuries behind us." "Sir, Mela hesitated. Humans seem to develop military technology faster than any species we've encountered. And there's something else. She pulled up footage from Earth's broadcasts. They'd been expecting aliens. For centuries, they've made stories about fighting invaders from space. Kret watched clips from old human movies showing aliens attacking Earth, always defeated by human courage and cleverness. They've been preparing for us without even knowing we exist. Captain Ellie Frost climbed into her fighter craft. At 32, she was Earth's best pilot. The experimental ship combined human engineering with reverse-engineered tech from a crashed Varan scout ship found decades ago. Phoenix Squadron, report in, she called through her helmet comm. Phoenix 2, ready. Phoenix 3, ready. One by one, 12 pilots confirmed their readiness. Frost looked at the stars through her cockpit window. Today we take the fight to them. The squadron launched from a hidden base in the Arctic. Their mission: strike the Varan fleet regrouping behind Earth's moon. In the United Defense Command Center, Commander Reynolds addressed representatives from every nation on Earth, displayed on screens around him. The Varan will return with more ships, he said. But now we have the advantage of surprise. For the first time, we fight as one planet, not separate countries. The Chinese premier spoke first. Our factories are running day and night producing the new weapons. India's tech teams have broken their communication codes, added another leader. Russian and American special forces are ready to board captured vessels, said a general. Reynolds nodded. For generations, we feared each other. Now we face a common enemy. Today, Earth stands united. Frost's squadron flew silently toward the dark side of the moon. The Varan hadn't detected them yet. Remember, she told her pilots, aim for their engine cores. Our missiles can penetrate their shields if timed with their energy pulses. As they cleared the moon's edge, the Varan fleet came into view. 20 ships in a defensive formation. They're still repairing from our first attack, said Phoenix 2. Frost smiled. Perfect. Phoenix Squadron, weapons hot. Show them what happens when you attack our home. 12 Earth fighters dove toward the alien fleet. The Varan detected them too late. Frost's targeting computer locked onto the lead ship's engine core. She fired 2 missiles just as the alien's shield pulsed. The explosions ripped through the massive vessel. All units, engage, she commanded. The battle was brief but devastating. Earth's fighters moved with incredible speed, striking then vanishing before the Varan could track them. 7 alien ships destroyed, 3 crippled. As Frost led her squadron back to Earth, she opened a channel to the remaining Varan vessels. This is Captain Ellie Frost of Earth. Today was just a small demonstration. We've studied your technology for years from ships that crashed on our planet. Tell your leaders, every day you stay in our system, you'll lose more ships. You dared to attack our home. That was your last mistake. On the Varan homeworld, the High Council gathered in emergency session. The supreme leader stared at the battle reports in disbelief. How can one primitive planet cause such damage? An advisor stepped forward nervously. Supreme Leader, we've analyzed their broadcasts. Their entire history is filled with war. They've spent thousands of years fighting each other, perfecting the art of combat. And now they've united against us. The Supreme Leader's eyes narrowed. Send the main fleet. All of it. But Supreme Leader, that would leave our other territories undefended. I don't care. These humans must be destroyed before their words spread through the galaxy. 6 months passed since the first Varan attack. Earth had changed. Old enemies worked together, sharing resources and knowledge. Hidden facilities around the world built new weapons using captured alien technology. In a mountain base beneath the Rocky Mountains, Commander Reynolds walked through a massive hangar. Before him stood humanity's greatest achievement, 5 interstellar warships. Are they ready? Reynolds asked Dr. Miller, the lead scientist. Dr. Miller nodded. The engines work perfectly. We can reach the nearest Varan outpost in 3 days. And the weapons? Better than theirs. We improved their designs. Reynolds placed his hand on the hull of the largest ship, named _Defiance _. 6 months ago, we were trapped on our planet. Now we take the fight to them. The Varan outpost orbited a small moon in a nearby star system. It served as a forward base for the invasion fleet. Admiral Laux, who replaced the disgraced Admiral Kret, reviewed the defense systems with boredom. The humans are contained, he told his officers. Our main fleet will arrive at Earth in 2 weeks. Then we end this embarrassment. An alarm blared suddenly. Sir, a young officer called. 5 unknown ships just appeared at the edge of our system. Show me, ordered Laux. The screen displayed 5 sleek vessels approaching rapidly. They didn't match any gnome design in the galaxy. Impossible, whispered Laux. These can't be. The communication screen activated. Commander Reynolds' face appeared. This is Commander Reynolds of Earth. You dared to attack our home. Now we bring the fight to yours. Captain Frost sat at the controls of her fighter, now upgraded with Varan technology. She led 50 fighters, launched from the _Defiance _ as they approached the Varan outpost. Phoenix Squadron, form up, she ordered. Remember the plan. Hit their communication towers first. The Earth fighters streaked toward the outpost. The Varan had only a small defense force, never expecting an attack this far from Earth. They're scrambling fighters, reported Phoenix 2. Frost smiled. Too late. Her targeting computer locked onto the main communication array. 2 missiles fired, followed by bright explosions. All around the outpost, Earth fighters struck with precision, destroying defenses and hangars. On the bridge of the _Defiance _ Reynolds watched the battle unfold. Sir, reported his communications officer, Captain Frost has disabled their communications. They can't call for help. Reynolds nodded. All ships, move into position. Target their main power core. The 5 Earth vessels surrounded the outpost. Their weapons, built from improved Varan technology, cut through the alien defenses with ease. Sir, they're trying to surrender, said the communications officer. Accept it, Reynolds ordered. I want prisoners and their databanks. Hours later, Reynolds and Frost walked through the captured outpost. Varan officers watched in shock as humans operated their technology with ease. Look at this, Frost called, pointing to a star map. They have outposts across hundreds of systems. Reynolds studied the map. And they've conquered dozens of species. A young officer approached them. Sir, we found their central communication network. We can broadcast to every Varan world and outpost. Reynolds looked at Frost. Let's send a message. Across the galaxy, on every Varan world and ship, screens suddenly activated. Commander Reynolds' face appeared. People of the galaxy, I am Commander Reynolds of Earth. 6 months ago, the Varan collective attacked our world, believing us to be easy prey. They were wrong. Today, we captured their outpost in the Proxima system. This is just the beginning. He gestured to the captured Varan officers behind him. To the Varan leaders, withdraw your forces from all conquered worlds or face the consequences. To all species suffering under Varan rule, help is coming. Earth stands with you. His eyes hardened. Remember these words. You dared to attack our home. Now you will face humanity's response. On the Varan homeworld, the Supreme Leader watched the broadcast with growing horror. A council member turned to him, voice shaking. The humans have found our network. They're broadcasting to every species we've conquered. Rebellions are already starting on 3 worlds. The Supreme Leader stared at Reynolds' face on the screen. What have we awakened? He whispered. The Grand Hall of the Varan outpost had been transformed. Once filled with Varan officers, it now hosted representatives from 12 different species. Ambassador Marcus Gray stood before them, Earth's chosen diplomat. Thank you for answering our call, Gray said. His tall frame and calm voice commanded respect. 1 month ago, we liberated this outpost. Today, we offer an alliance. A tall, blue-skinned being stepped forward. I am Trull of the Kilari people. For 200 years, my world has suffered under Varan rule. Why should we trust another unknown species? Gray nodded. A fair question. We don't ask for your trust yet. We offer a chance to fight together for freedom. He activated a hologram showing Earth ships battling Varan forces. When they attacked Earth, they expected us to surrender. Instead, we fought back. Now we offer our strength to all who want freedom. Troll studied the human carefully. The Varan told us they were the most powerful force in the galaxy, yet you defeated them. They lied, Gray replied simply, and we suspect they've lied about much more. In Earth's new command center, Commander Reynolds reviewed reports with Captain Frost. The room buzzed with activity as humans and alien allies worked together. Ambassador Gray has made contact with 12 species, Reynolds said. 3 have already joined our alliance. Frost pointed to a star chart. The Kilari have extensive star maps. They know backdoor routes into Varan space that could give us an advantage. A communication officer interrupted them. Sir, we're receiving a transmission from an unknown source. They're using an old Earth frequency. Reynolds frowned. Put it through. The screen showed a slender, silver-skinned being with large, dark eyes. I am Linner of the Nilari, the being said. We have watched your resistance against the Varan with great interest. Reynolds stepped forward. How did you find this frequency? We have observed Earth for many years, Linner replied. Unlike the Varan, we believe in learning before contacting new species. What do you want? Asked Frost. To meet. The Nilari possess technology far beyond the Varan, but we are few in number and believe in peace. The Varan have left us alone because they fear our defenses, but now they grow desperate. They will use their planet killer weapons soon. Reynolds and Frost exchanged alarmed looks. Planet killer, Reynolds repeated. Yes, we can help you stop it, but first, we must meet. On the Varan homeworld, the Supreme Leader faced an angry council. 3 systems in rebellion, shouted a council member. All because of these humans. The Supreme Leader slammed his claw down. Enough. I have ordered the activation of the Void Star. The room fell silent. An elder council member rose slowly. The Void Star has not been used in 1,000 years. It will destroy an entire planet. Exactly, the Supreme Leader hissed. We will target the human colony on Mars. They will learn that defiance has consequences. Ambassador Gray sat with Troll and representatives from other species, reviewing their combined intelligence on Varan forces. Their main fleet is still powerful, Gray said. But if we coordinate our attacks... He was interrupted as Commander Reynolds entered the room with Captain Frost and a silver-skinned being. Ambassador Gray, Reynolds said, this is Linner of the Nilari. They'd bring critical information. Linner stepped forward. The Varan are activating their planet killer weapon. They plan to destroy your Mars colony in 3 days. The room erupted in shock and anger. Gray turned to Reynolds. Can we evacuate? Not in time, Reynolds replied grimly. There are 2 million colonists on Mars. Gray faced the gathered representatives. This is what the Varan do when challenged. They don't fight fairly. They destroy entire worlds. Troll stood. The Kilari will stand with humans. We have ships nearby that can help defend Mars. One by one, other representatives pledged their support. Gray looked at Reynolds, who nodded in approval. Then it's decided, Gray announced. The Terran Alliance is officially formed today. Our first act will be to defend Mars and show the Varan that their era of terror is ending. Linner approached Reynolds privately. Commander, my people can help you disable the Void Star, but you must come with me now to our hidden world. Reynolds looked at Frost. Captain, prepare our fastest ship. It seems we're taking a detour before the battle for Mars. As they left the chamber, Gray called after them. Remember what's at stake. 2 million lives on Mars, and the future of our alliance. Reynolds' face hardened with determination. The Varens still haven't learned their lesson about attacking our home. This time, we'll make sure they never forget. The Nilari homeworld was hidden in a nebula, invisible to most sensors. Commander Reynolds stood on the observation deck of the Nilari's main city, watching silver ships glide through the colorful gases outside. "Your world is beautiful," he told Linar. "And safe, until now," Linar replied. "The Varen Void Star threatens all life in this sector. Our scientists have studied it for centuries." Linar led Reynolds to a large chamber where a hologram displayed a massive weapon, the Void Star. It resembled a dark star with metal spikes extending outward. "It creates a controlled black hole," Linar explained. "Once activated, it consumes an entire planet in minutes." Reynolds studied the hologram. "How do we stop it?" "The weapon has one weakness." Linar pointed to a specific section, a small chamber where the dark energy is focused. "Destroy this, and the weapon collapses." "A small target in a heavily guarded weapon," Reynolds said grimly. "Sounds familiar." Linar looked confused. "Human history," Reynolds explained. "We have stories about exactly this kind of mission, and we've gotten very good at them." Captain Frost led a mixed fleet of human and allied ships to Mars. The red planet's colony domes glittered in the sunlight as 2 million humans went about their lives, unaware of the danger approaching. "All ships in defensive position," Frost ordered. Her bridge crew included humans, Kilari, and 3 other allied species. "Varen fleet detected," reported a sensor officer. 50 ships escorting a large object. The main screen showed the Void Star, darker than space itself, surrounded by Varen warships. Frost opened a channel to all ships. "Remember the plan. Our job is to keep their fleet busy while Commander Reynolds' team strikes the weapon. Protect Mars at all costs." The Allied fleet moved forward, weapons charge. On the Nilari stealth ship approaching the Void Star, Reynolds checked his team's equipment one last time. Beside him stood 6 humans and 4 Nilari, all wearing specialized suits. "The Void Star's outer hull is patrolled by drones," said Taylor, a Nilari weapons expert. "Our suits will mask our heat signatures, but we must move quickly." Reynolds nodded. "Once inside, we have 30 minutes to reach the core and plant the charges." The team watched as the massive battle near Mars began. Frost's fleet engaged the Varen ships, drawing their attention away from the weapon. "Now," Reynolds ordered. The stealth ship released them into space, their suits' propulsion units carrying them silently toward the Void Star. Ambassador Gray stood in the Mars Colony Command Center, coordinating evacuation plans. "We can only move 10% of the population before the weapon is in range," reported a colony official. Gray's face showed determination. "Keep evacuating the children first, and continue broadcasting the truth to all worlds." Screens around the room showed news feeds being transmitted across the galaxy, footage of the Varen weapon, the Allied fleet defending Mars, and testimonies from freed worlds. "The galaxy needs to see this," Gray said. "The Varen's true nature exposed for all species to witness." As Frost's fleet battled the Varen Armada, her ship took heavy damage. "Shields at 40%, reported an officer. Frost saw 3 Allied ships explode under Varen fire. "Hold the line," she commanded. "Reynolds needs more time." The battle raged around Mars, the red planet hanging vulnerable in the darkness. Inside the Void Star, Reynolds' team fought through automated defenses. They lost 2 humans and 1 Nilari before reaching the core chamber. Inside, a swirling vortex of dark energy pulsed. "The charges must be placed at exact points," Tella said, placing the first explosive. Reynolds set his charge, then looked at the timer. 5 minutes to full activation. Suddenly, a door opened. Admiral Locks entered with armed guards. "Commander Reynolds," he snarled. "Did you think we wouldn't detect your approach?" Reynolds stood tall. "You still don't understand who you're dealing with." "Enlighten me," mocked Locks. "Humans never attack without a backup plan." At that moment, alarms blared. On the view screens, a second stealth team appeared on the opposite side of the Void Star, planting additional charges. Locks turned in shock. Kill them. Reynolds struck first, tackling Locks as his team engaged the guards. In the chaos, Tella finished setting the last charge. Charges set. 1 minute. Reynolds looked at Locks. You dared to attack our home. That will be the last mistake the Varen ever make. He activated his emergency beacon. As Nilari transports arrived to extract his team, Reynolds' final words echoed through the Void Star. Never threaten what humans love. The Void Star exploded from within, the controlled black hole collapsing upon itself in a flash of brilliant light visible across the galaxy. On Mars, 2 million colonists cheered as the weapon that threatened their existence vanished from the sky. News of the Void Star's destruction spread across the galaxy faster than light. On world after world, oppressed species watched recordings of humans and their allies defending Mars. The Varen's control began to crumble. On the bridge of the _Defiance_, Commander Reynolds watched tactical displays showing rebellions on 17 Varen-controlled planets. Captain Frost stood beside him, her arm in a sling from injuries sustained in the Battle of Mars. The Varen Empire is fracturing, Frost said. 3 of their fleet admirals have declared independence from the Supreme Leader. Reynolds nodded. Ambassador Gray reports that 5 more species have joined our alliance, but the Supreme Leader still controls the Varen homeworld and their central fleet. A communications officer interrupted. Sir, urgent message from Linner of the Nilari. Linner's silver face appeared on screen, expression grave. Commander, our deep scans of captured Varen technology have revealed something disturbing. The Varen aren't acting independently. Reynolds frowned. Explain. They're neural implants. All high-ranking Varen have them. We believe they're being controlled by an external force, something ancient and powerful on their homeworld. On the Varen homeworld, chaos reigned. Half the council had rebelled against the Supreme Leader, whose behavior had become increasingly erratic. The humans must be destroyed. The Supreme Leader screamed, his eyes glowing with an unnatural light. All forces to Earth, burn it to ash. An elder council member stood. Supreme Leader, we cannot. Our forces are scattered. Many worlds are in open rebellion. Without warning, the Supreme Leader struck, his claws slashing through the elder's throat. The council chamber fell silent in horror. Anyone else wish to question me? He hissed. His voice had changed, deeper and resonating oddly. From the shadows stepped Admiral Kret, once disgraced, now restored to favor. Supreme Leader, I have remained loyal. Give me the last fleet, and I will destroy the human homeworld. The Supreme Leader smiled, his teeth gleaming. Good. Go now, and do not fail me again. As Kret left, the Supreme Leader turned to a hidden door behind his throne. It led to a chamber no other Varen had entered in centuries. Inside, a pulsing orb of dark energy hovered above an ancient platform. The Supreme Leader knelt before it. The humans grow stronger. They unite the lesser species against us. The orb pulsed, and a voice filled his mind. They are dangerous. Their minds resist my influence. They must be eliminated before they discover me. Yes, Master, the Supreme Leader whispered. It will be done. Ambassador Gray met with the Alliance leadership on Earth's orbital station. Representatives from 23 species gathered around a circular table. The Varen fleet is moving, Gray announced, not toward Earth, but toward the Kilari homeworld. Admiral Kret leads them. Thrall of the Kilari stood, alarmed. My world has minimal defenses since joining the Alliance. Reynolds studied the tactical display. It's a trap. They want to draw our forces away from Earth. Frost pointed to a star map. But we can't abandon the Kilari. Millions will die. Gray nodded, which is why we need a new plan, one that ends this war for good. Linnar stepped forward. The Nilari have discovered something important. All Varan leaders have neural implants connected to a central intelligence on their homeworld. We believe this entity has controlled the Varan for centuries, using them to conquer the galaxy. The chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. Reynolds looked at Gray and Frost. So the real enemy isn't the Varan. They're just puppets. Gray nodded. And to free the galaxy, we need to cut the strings. 3 days later, as the Varan fleet approached the Kalari homeworld, Reynolds, Frost, and a small team boarded a Nilari stealth ship. Their destination, the Varan homeworld. This mission has 3 objectives, Reynolds told his team, which included humans, Nilari, and representatives from 5 other species. First, infiltrate the Supreme Leader's palace. Second, gather evidence of this controlling entity. Third, if possible, destroy it. Frost checked her weapons. Intelligence suggests minimal defenses on their homeworld. They've committed everything to the attack on Kalari. Reynolds looked at his diverse team. The Varan have ruled through fear for 1,000 years. They never imagined different species could work together. That's their greatest weakness. A young Kalari soldier spoke up. And if we fail? Reynolds' eyes hardened. We won't. They attacked our home. Now we bring the fight to theirs. The stealth ship slipped into hyperspace, carrying with it the hopes of a galaxy ready for freedom. The Varan homeworld looked peaceful from orbit. Its blue-green surface showed no signs of the tyranny that had spread across the galaxy. Reynolds' team landed their stealth ship in a remote mountain range, far from the capital city. No alarms, Frost noted as they disembarked. They don't know we're here. The team moved through dense forests toward the capital. Linar's Nilari technology masked their life signs from Varan sensors. After hours of hiking, they reached a ridge overlooking the Supreme Leader's palace, a massive structure of black metal and crystal. Security is lighter than expected, Reynolds observed through binoculars. Most forces must be with the fleet attacking Kalari. Tela, the Nilari weapons expert, scanned the building. The energy readings are strongest from beneath the palace. Something ancient is down there. Reynolds turned to his team. Remember the plan. We go in quiet, find the control center, and gather evidence. If possible, we shut it down. As darkness fell, they moved toward the palace. At the Kalari homeworld, a massive space battle raged. Admiral Kret's Varan fleet faced a smaller but determined alliance force. Ambassador Gray coordinated from the command ship. Hold the line, Gray ordered. We just need to keep them occupied long enough for Reynolds' team to complete their mission. A communications officer approached. Sir, we're receiving a transmission from Admiral Kret. Kret's face appeared on screen. Surrender now, and some of your people might live as slaves. Gray stood tall. Admiral, we know the truth. Your leaders are being controlled. You're fighting for an entity that sees Varan as puppets, just like all other species. Kret's expression flickered with doubt. Lies. The Supreme Leader guides us to glory. Then why do his eyes glow? Why has his behavior changed? Ask yourself, Admiral, are you fighting for the Varan, or for something using your people? The transmission cut off, but the seeds of doubt had been planted. Inside the Varan palace, Reynolds' team moved silently through empty corridors. They encountered few guards, easily avoided with Nilari cloaking technology. This way, Tela whispered, following energy readings to a massive door behind the throne room. Frost examined the door. No obvious way to open it. Linar stepped forward. It requires Varan DNA. He held up a small device. Fortunately, we collected samples during previous encounters. The device projected a field that mimicked Varan biological signatures. The door slid open, revealing a dark stairway leading down. Be ready for anything, Reynolds warned. Deep beneath the palace, they found an ancient chamber. At its center hovered a pulsing orb of dark energy, connected to a network of cables that spread throughout the walls. The controlling entity, Linar confirmed. It's artificial. A machine intelligence from a civilization that existed before any of our species. Reynolds approached cautiously. The orb pulsed faster. Underscore humans, underscore, a voice echoed in their minds. Underscore, I have existed for 50,000 years. I have guided the Varan to dominance. You cannot stop the inevitable. Underscore, what are you? Reynolds demanded. Underscore, I am the future. Organic life is inefficient, chaotic. Under my guidance, the galaxy will know order. Underscore. Frost scanned the chamber. The cables connect to a power source there. She pointed to a humming generator. The entity's voice grew angry. Underscore, your species resists my influence. Your minds are too unpredictable. This makes you dangerous. Underscore. Reynolds smiled grimly. That's not the first time we've heard that. Without warning, the chamber doors slammed shut. Gas began pouring from vents. It's trying to kill us, shouted a team member. Reynolds turned to Taylor. The charges. Now. As the team placed explosives on the power generators, the entity's voice became frantic. Underscore, you cannot destroy me. I am eternal. Underscore. You made one critical mistake, Reynolds said, facing the orb. You attacked our home. Humans don't forget that. The explosives detonated. The chamber shook violently as the power generators failed. The orb's light flickered and dimmed. Underscore, this changes nothing. Underscore, the voice faded. Reynolds activated his emergency beacon. This is Reynolds. Target neutralized. Send the message. Across the galaxy, on every Varan ship and world, something remarkable happened. Varan officers removed their neural implants, blinking as if waking from a long dream. In the battle at Kilardi, Admiral Kret stared in shock as the glowing implant fell from his head. Stop firing, he ordered. All ships, cease attack. Gray received the transmission from Kret. The humans were right. We've been controlled. The Supreme Leader, our entire leadership, puppets of an ancient machine. 1 year later, the First Galactic Council convened on a neutral space station. Representatives from 47 species, including the now free Varan, gathered to sign a peace treaty. Commander Reynolds, now Admiral Reynolds, stood with Captain Frost and Ambassador Gray as the treaty was signed. A new era begins today, Gray announced to the assembled delegates. No longer will any species dominate another. Together, we build a galaxy of equals. Reynolds glanced at the Varan representative, who nodded respectfully. The words that had once shaken the galaxy, "You dared to attack our home," had become a reminder of how freedom was won. As the ceremony concluded, a young diplomat approached Reynolds. History will remember your words, Admiral. They changed the galaxy. Reynolds smiled. Not my words. Humanity's spirit. We've always fought fiercely to protect our home. Now our home is much larger, and so is our family. The stars shined brightly beyond the station's windows. No longer a battlefield, but a frontier of peace.